15 years after Kenya made a historic break with its past by promulgating the 2010 Constitution, we are taking a hard look at its legacy. It was designed to be a radical shift from a centralized state to a devolved one, from impunity to accountability, and from limited rights to expansive guarantees. So, where did it work? The biggest success story is perhaps devolution. Power and resources were sent out to 47 counties, building hospitals, roads, and clinics in regions that had been neglected for decades. For the first time, many Kenyans could engage with a government that was actually local. Secondly, the judiciary was reborn. A thorough vetting process and new structures created a more independent bench capable of making bold rulings that check executive power and protect citizens' rights. Finally, the Bill of Rights was supercharged, not just with political freedoms, but with the promise of socio-economic rights, the right to healthcare, education, and a clean environment. There are, however, shortfalls and a regression into the old system. The transformative vision, however, hit a wall of political resistance. For all its strengths, the Constitution's implementation has been deeply flawed. Parliament often failed as an oversight body, repeatedly acting as a rubber stamp for the executive instead of holding it accountable. And corruption has persisted on a staggering scale, with recent revelations of hundreds of millions spent on renovating officials' residences while ordinary Kenyans struggle. The most dramatic evidence of these failures is the Gen Z-led protests. This wasn't just a political movement, it was a constitutional audit from the streets. Young Kenyans armed with the rights promised in the 2010 document, like Article 37 on assembly and petition, peacefully demonstrated against governance failures, unemployment, and punitive taxes. The state's response, abductions, extrajudicial killings, and excessive force wasn't just a violation of human rights. It was a direct violation of the very constitution it swore to uphold. This clash highlighted the Grand Canyon between the law on paper and reality on the ground. Yeah, so guys, if you've made it this far into the video, you can like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You can also support us on the M-Pesa till below. Your donations will enable us to continue bringing this kind of content to your screen. Thank you. This struggle isn't unique to Kenya. Other nations offer lessons. South Africa's constitution is also strong on socio-economic rights, but its constitutional court has developed a reasonableness doctrine, forcing the state to prove that it's making measurable progress, a model that Kenya could emulate. Conversely, Nigeria's experience shows the risks of a weak devolution system, where states remain financially strangled by the federal center, a cautionary tale for Kenya's counties. The key takeaway from abroad is that a constitution is only as strong as the institutions and the political culture that support it. Independent bodies must be truly independent, and rights must be enforceable, not just aspirational. So, where do we go from here? The conversation has moved beyond simple celebration to specific and, in some cases, radical proposals for a referendum. The push from citizens, amplified by the Gen Z movement, is for a leaner, more accountable government. Key proposals on the table include: first, reducing the cost of devolution. There is a serious debate about merging some of the 47 counties and reducing wards to cut the massive wage bill that consumes resources meant for development. The goal is to make devolution more efficient, not to kill it. Secondly, by abolishing certain positions. The role of the women representative is frequently cited as one that could be abolished, with critics arguing that its functions have been duplicated by other elected officials, and that its primary purpose of promoting gender equality can be achieved through other means. Thirdly, we have taming the presidency. A central demand is to significantly reduce the powers of the president, particularly the power to unilaterally appoint individuals to key independent commissions. This is seen as crucial to preventing the executive from controlling every arm of the state. Also, we have drastically tackling graft. Perhaps the most contentious proposal is introducing the death penalty for corruption involving vast public funds. Proponents see it as the only deterrent strong enough for economic treason, while opponents raise serious human rights and moral objections. Also, we have reclaiming national wealth. There are also strong calls to amend Article 71 to ensure the nationalization of key mineral resources, guaranteeing that the wealth benefits all citizens and not just private corporations. Many, however, argue that before we amend the document, we need to fully implement the one that we have. This still means that the executive must obey court orders, parliament must use its oversight tools, and the judiciary must be consistent. The Gen Z protests were a powerful reminder that the ultimate guardians of the constitution are the citizens. The debate on these reforms is now live, and the energy for change is undeniable. Stay engaged, for this is our shared responsibility.